You get the opportunity to kind of see some modern aspects of our judicial system, and I guess I would hope that our students don't have a situation in their life where they necessarily personally need to be aware of aspects of our judicial system, but I think as somebody who's part of like a greater society, we should be aware of like the rights and responsibilities of us as citizens, and if we see like injustices happening throughout society, to be people who are educated on what human beings are entitled to in our country. The more aware you are of what your rights are as an individual and what the rights of your fellow citizen are and your fellow person are, the more likely you are to be able to make positive change when you recognize that things are not going the way they should. History in the headlines will give you the opportunity, I guess, to kind of reverse the way you would normally see social studies. As a social studies teacher, we teach the history and then try to weave in some current events with it, where this would be more focused on what's going on in present day society through technological means and whatnot, understanding like how different media sources affect our flow of information, how different biases affect like the way that we perceive certain things. And I think having a course where you can really dive into that and not worry about the standardized test at the end of the year, but just be aware of what's going on with your surroundings is a great thing.
AP Psychology is a dual credit class, and what that means is that we have college credit for the AP exam itself, and then also possibly Suffolk Community College, and it's an intro to psychology class, all of it. So you cover the brain, you cover development. Do you want to be a parent of an egg? Do you want to learn about the treatments of disorders? It covers everything. But most importantly, because this course is something that you can apply to your life and you actually learn about you.
You're going to focus on the historical circumstances that led to different genocides occurring throughout history. And I think a lot of times when you learn about things like the Holocaust, you look at it from the victim's perspective and we see that there were such terrible things that occurred. And sometimes you just don't have time to like get into what were the policies that caused groups of people to be willing to do things like this, and what was the background? Are there any common trends when we see different genocides have occurred throughout history? I also believe, just from a historical perspective, that we kind of owe it to the people who came before us to recognize what they went through and to recognize what that experience was.
That's interested in taking an extra social studies course and earning AP and college credit, AP European History is the class for you. So if you want a more concentrated focus on specifically AP European History, these are the other major themes that you would take part in. It's a full year course, right? If you're going to take the course, you have to take the AP exam at the end of it. Could result in, if you get a 3 or better, college credit. Local/Long Island history. It is a half-year course, half credit. Right? If you are into Long Island Port Jeff history, this is the class for you. The average person doesn't really understand how important and impactful Long Island has been, really, in our entire country's history. So from really the American Revolution until now, we're going to dig deep into some aspects of Long Island history. I'll be teaching AP Europe sports history. It's going to be awesome. And it's not just going to be about the history of sports. It's going to be about how sports transcend society. You can see whether it's Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, different major impactful moments. We'll talk about segregation, political polarization, fandom, and how you become fans of certain teams where you live, okay, and even how certain moments will impact, certain cities or countries.
General psychology is a half-year, half-credit course, mostly for upperclassmen. It is all about general psychology, which means it's a study of human behavior and the psychological theories, and it's to help you better understand your own behavior and those around you. Positive psychology is a brand new elective. It's a half-year, half-credit upperclassmen course. It is about the subfield of positive psychology. It's going to address well-being, possibly your misconceptions about happiness, and it's supposed to help you not only with school, but after graduation.